You're with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
Hey Tada, Dumelang, welcome to the show. It's 8 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for being with us here on 702 once again. If it's your first time listening to us, welcome, bienvenue. Our show starts with the 702 open line on 011-883-0702. You can send your WhatsApps on 072-702-1702. Are you not shocked about the KZN Hawks boss, Lesetja Senona, and what he has been saying at the Madlanga Commission? This is a senior cop. The head of the Hawks in KwaZulu-Natal, his relationship with Cat Matlala, who faces quite serious criminal charges, has been laid bare. He says Cat Matlala is like a brother to him. His son even has a business with Cat Matlala. He has tried to lie and say that as soon as Cat Matlala was accused of being linked to the Babita Deokaran's murder, and as soon as reports started about Cat Matlala's SAPS contract and irregularities, he started distancing himself from Matlala. But did he? He didn't. He lied. Because even after all these disturbing reports about Cat Matlala, he continued to have a relationship with him and attend meetings with him and send him even the most sensitive information. And he's really been struggling to justify some of the things he sent Cat Matlala and some of the things that Cat Matlala sent him, including a document with seemingly the president's ID numbers. And if these are the kind of cops we have at the helm, we're truly in trouble, my friend. How do this person's subordinates even respect him after all that has been revealed so far? Listen to some of what happened at the commission yesterday.
So you'll see this is a document that's marked strictly confidential at the top, and it says confidential information concerning the identity of the president, and then it has information relating to President Ramaphosa. You see that?
I see the document, commissioners.
So why did he send this to you?
I also do not know, and if he sent it to me, I didn't open. If he sent it to me, I didn't open it. You know, these documents, when I look at them now, because it's now that I see the contents, I would have reported this to my principal.
So you would have reported this to your principal?
Yes, because it is unusual that a private person can have these documents. So I didn't open them. I didn't know what was inside. But if I knew, commissioners, definitely I would have written an information note to my supervisor, informing him about this, what I've just discovered with a person of so-and-so, Mr. Matlala.
So you're saying that, again, you're saying in the meeting where he sends you simultaneously these documents, he doesn't say anything to you about what he's sending to you. You have no discussion about it.
That's correct.
In the course of the meeting, and you have no discussion about it after the meeting either.
That's correct, commissioners. I didn't read it. If I read it, the communication after that was going to be there about it, but I was going to write an information note to my supervisor in order for action to be taken, what needs to be taken. Investigation.
Sorry, Ms. Hassim. There are actually two things that arise from this, and one is what Ms. Hassim has referred to, which is he did not tell you what this was. The second thing is did he tell you anything at all with regard to sending these documents? This is actually a question that my colleague, Commissioner Baloy, asked. But I just want clarity on it, and to say we just must be clear what you say about these two things. You've responded to the one that Ms. Hassim is raising. But I want to know, did Mr. Matlala say to you, my brother, I am now sending you something? Did he say that at all, as you were sitting there?
No, Commissioner.
So you are sitting there, you are at a meeting, you are discussing whatever it is you are discussing, so he silently just sends you these documents, these three documents, and he's completely mum about them.
Commissioners, he will be the one who will answer why did he send it to me. It is unfortunate I never happened to open and read this.
No, please, I'm not asking you about opening. I'm asking you now about the two of you sitting together, having a discussion at a meeting, and he sends you this. He's silent, completely silent. He does not even say, please have a look, I've just sent you something, or I've sent you something, please have a look when you find time. Nothing like that. He sends them, he's silent about them.
Hi. He is struggling. He's struggling to justify. I mean, he sent some information that is sensitive to Cat Matlala. I mean, listen to this. Let me play you a last clip.
Did you consider it appropriate to share with a private citizen such as Mr. Matlala a document that shows that Mr. Nangi and Mr. Brides have lodged complaints against members of the SAPS? I won't mention their names, but you see them on page 66. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Do you consider it appropriate to share with Mr. Matlala a document that shows that Nangi and Brides have lodged complaints against members of the SAPS? What does that have to do with Mr. Matlala?
When I read the statement of Mr. Nangi, I saw that he is residing in midstream, Centurion. That area, that midstream security complex, Mr. Matlala is also residing there. I sent it based on the statement that this gentleman is staying there and he has committed kidnapping where they have demanded a ransom of 35 million. And then the case was withdrawn. I didn't even say the case was withdrawn against them or what, but the
SAPS officers to Mr. Matlala, because that has got nothing to do with Mr. Matlala.
I hear you, Commissioner.
Hi.
So it was wrong to do that.
Here's my question. And I've asked this question many times last day. Why is this man still in office? Why hasn't he put on precautionary suspension? The Madlanga Commission has the power to recommend suspensions, and I'm not sure if they have used that power or why they are failing to use that power. I mean, kudos to Ekurhuleni for taking the decision to suspend Julius Mkhwanazi and even their head of legal, Advocate Kemi Bahari. But that was the city of Ekurhuleni deciding to act on those suspensions, unless the commission recommended that secretly and we don't know. But the commission must be transparent about that. So if the city acted on their recommendation, that the commission would have probably said so. So why is the commission not recommending suspensions for some of these embarrassing cops? I mean, the weighted evidence against Senona is so powerful. He has clearly conducted himself improperly. His conduct has been questionable and could even border on criminality. And we must be comfortable with him staying in office? I think it's unwise for the SAPS to keep people like this man in his position, given that the public see them as posing a serious threat, not only to the credibility of the institutions they work for, but you could argue to public safety too. When the president established this commission, he said, the commission will make findings on criminal prosecutions or institutional reforms, and where appropriate, they must make recommendations on the employment status of such officials, whether they should be suspended pending the outcome of investigation. Is the Madlanga Commission then waiting to make those recommendations at the end? And how much damage would have been done by then? What do you think? What do you think should be the approach of the SAPS or the Commission to these chaps, whom we can see clearly their improper behavior? 011-883-0702. Also, are you disappointed that you won't be able to watch Melania, ne? Her name is Melania Trump. Yeah, Melania Trump's movie. Are you disappointed that you won't be able to watch the film in cinema? Did you even know about it? Because the South African distributors, Film Affinity and cinema chains, New Metro and Ster-Kinekor, have abruptly pulled the film from cinemas ahead of its release tomorrow, citing the, quote, current climate. So this movie centers on the United States First Lady, Melania, and her 20 days in the lead up to her husband's second inauguration last year, and how she serves as an advisor, and I say that in inverted commas, to President Trump. It also centers on her fashion choices. Anyway, the film has now been pulled off, so you can't watch it in cinema. And either the US or the producers made the call, or these local distributors realized that it's going to be a flop, that not so many people are going to come out to watch it for a variety of reasons. Honestly, I didn't really care about the film at all. I saw the trailer and I thought, interesting, but I'm not going to leave my house to go watch Melania Trump's first 20 days ahead of her husband's inauguration. Nah. Were you looking forward to watching it? Did you even know about the film? Let me know. At 10.
Clement Manyathela, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856
92.7
and 106 FM.
Morning, Clement. He's obviously lying. I mean, there's just really no excuse for having a person of his leadership on top there. He's lying, he's compromised, and he's trying to backtrack. Let the guy go. This is an offense. I mean, even at the president level, you should be calling for this person to be removed from his job. It cannot. He's already compromised. How is he going to continue serving this country? He's already compromised.
Exactly. Can you imagine, like, serious Hawks officers who only care about their work? How do they even take this man seriously? And they must still report to this man who has clearly been so severely compromised. Is the president at least calling, asking for the SAPS to look into these matters? I mean, he doesn't have to interfere and tell them what to do, but where's the National Police Commissioner? I mean, he was quick to suspend Shadrack Sibiya. Right? Whether it's because of what has come out so far already in the public domain, or because of what Shadrack Sibiya has done, which is wrong, around the dockets. But where's the National Police Commissioner? And why must he be put under pressure to do something so easy? Precautionary suspension. You can see the behavior of this man has completely inappropriate. And maybe for the National Commissioner, he will look at other officers, because there are other officers, even in Gauteng, who have been compromised. I mean, who's responsible for the Hawks head? Is it still the National Commissioner, or because that's a separate sort of entity, but that is still directly within the SAPS? Or is it the president? The point I'm making is whoever the Hawks head reports to surely has got to see that something is wrong here. Something is completely wrong here, and we cannot keep on having these people in office because they are so compromised. And what more damage are they going to cause the longer they stay?
Morning, Clement and the team, Town from Cape Town. I think as a country we are in danger, because I listened to Madlanga Commission for the past 2 days, and I listened to the Hawks head, this powerful guy who's supposed to protect us, all of us. But he doesn't seem to have boundaries to understand that he can't just be hanging around with anyone and with no consequences in it. And it's the same thing that our politicians also do. When their friends are in trouble with the law, they always say, well, I didn't know, well, I'm just a citizen of this country. So it's almost like that gives them a leeway of saying, you don't have a responsibility, which they have like the utmost responsibility out of everyone else in this country, because they're supposed to protect us and make sure that we're all safe as a country. So if our officials and the Hawks head don't seem to understand that position, they can't just be acting like a normal citizen of the country. That's wrong.
Yeah. Willie, you calling from Pretoria. Good morning.
Morning, Clement.
Hey, sir.
You know what? All those people who were opposing this idea of having this commission, Cyril was going to fire the minister. Oh, and then all these things that have been revealed now, we are not going to know about them. So it was good this commission was instituted. So I think we still have more to hear from other dodgy characters. But now it is time for Cyril to take the lead correctly. Fire all these rogue units. Thanks, Willie Pretoria.
Thank you, Willie. Rakwena, you're in Pretoria North. Hi.
Hi, Clement, how are you?
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, this problem is just the tip of the iceberg. If I can tell you now, the problem started when the SAPS changed the ranking system there, starting to call themselves generals and whatever they call them. And in a very short space of time, the unit is sitting with a lot of generals who are literally, most of them unqualified because of the recruitment system that they use there. And the very same thing escalate into the SANDF, where the army's numbers are around 80,000 and you have over 400 generals there as well. Now, if you could go through all these people, because it's a connection of corruption and political connections, you are going to find that they are not really capable, most of them. It's just like Mkwanazi, the Julius Mkwanazi, who didn't even know what SWAT stands for. So we have got a problem here. I think what needs to happen is to have a complete overhaul of the South African police service and the army, and change these titles that we have in the police force. You can't be having generals in the army and in the police as well. And lastly, that I want to raise is this issue of the Iranian, Navy exercise. I mean, Ramaphosa is supposed to be the commander-in-chief. In many countries, if something like that happens, the minister is fired immediately, and all those who fall under the minister's seniors are fired. But here we are now, establishing now a board that's going to investigate that, with a lot of retired judges there and other staff members there, running into millions. Obviously, it will go into millions. Now, you see, the whole thing is a problem, just like even our cabinet here, which is the third biggest in the world and even bigger than what the USA has. So we have got serious problems here. These piecemeal solutions where you want to focus on one small thing, it doesn't really make a difference because almost the whole system is rotten. So I really don't know. I'm confused. But this Senona, he's got to either resign by himself and Kunu, they both must resign by themselves because they are finished. There's nothing left there. If they were really honest to themselves and trying to save the nation problems, they don't deserve to be in the. I mean, where did you find a police senior head who doesn't read newspapers? Who will tell you that no, I could not afford to pay for News 24, when we know very well that government departments through GCIS and so on, they've got media monitoring. But
just the other day, you were saying that Lesetja Cat Matlala, their relationship is they send each other news articles.
Yeah, you understand, and that shouldn't happen because GCIS job is to collate all the information that is of interest to government departments and send it out every morning and so on.
Yeah, but I mean, if he says that, we just used to send each other articles and stuff. Okay, what about the sensitive information that you guys have been sending each other? He's just trying to come up with all sorts of justifications that don't make sense. Sesh, who's this? Pogue on the WhatsApp line says, Clement Senona on Twitter says, Clement Senona complained that they intimidated him by sending him a note that he must say why he can't be transferred. He said, why did they send him that note just before he appeared before the commission? So they are taking action. So Also, transferring someone is not action. And unfortunately, that's why our public system has aspects of it that are so rotten. Because there are certain people that no action has not been taken against them. They've just been transferred to other departments. That happens a lot. Someone does something wrong. Let's just move them somewhere else. Why is that action? Why are we okay with that action? And then you as a taxpayer, you are busy paying 41% of your salary to this government so that they can go pay the salary of that person who probably does nothing. Nothing. Remember, even with General Mkhwanazi, it happened when there was a point when he did nothing for about a year. Because that's how government thinks. Some sections of government think, that's a way we're going to frustrate people. It's ridiculous. And we seem to be okay with it. It happens. The social development minister, remember last year we spoke about that 22-year-old lady who was her chief of staff, who doesn't even qualify, doesn't have the right qualifications, doesn't even have the right experience. She was suspended for about 6 months with full pay. And then she resigns later on. Who takes accountability for that? We just move on. You and I as taxpayers have just spent 1.4 million rand annually paying this woman who doesn't have the right qualifications, who doesn't have the experience. And then you suspend her and pay her while she's suspended, and then she resigns and all of us have to move on. That's what irritates me. Every time I look at the tax I pay, I get irritated because I don't think that our monies are being used properly by this government. And if they were using their own monies, I'm sure they would be thinking differently about the decisions they make. It's crazy. Now they want to transfer Senona from KZN to where? And then they're going to pay him until what? He retires? In our taxpayers' money? 9:31.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
On 702.
23 minutes before 10 o'clock. This is the 702 open line. And we're taking your calls on 011-883-0702. I've been asking you about Senona and why he is still in the job. Why is the commission not recommending that he be suspended while investigations continue? Where is the Minister of Police? Like, why are you watching all of this and you are comfortable with the person going back to his office tomorrow? That's just so bizarre for me. Where's the National Police Commissioner? What action are they taking against some SAPS members whose behavior has been revealed to be quite reckless, to border on criminality, to be so improper? What are they doing about it? Like, does the president not get shocked when he watches this? And when he gets shocked, which he usually does, what does he do about it? And here's a question, actually, I want to ask you, because I spoke about tax earlier. If I were to ask you right now, a yes or no question, are you a happy taxpayer? I'm not, and I'm being very honest with you. I am not a happy taxpayer in this country, and not because I don't think that the money can go, or some of it goes to good deeds. I mean, there's public infrastructure. There are people that are not able to take care of themselves that we take care of as taxpayers. I'm okay with that. But I'm unhappy about how some of this money, if not most of it, is being used by our government leaders. I'm not. And I've traveled to other countries. Like, when I was in Finland last year, their tax compliance is up the roof. Why? Because citizens in Finland can see where their money is going to. So they don't force people to pay tax. Literally, people are happy taxpayers. That's it. And over the last couple of years, the Revenue Service has made positive strides in its efforts to modernize and assure better voluntary tax compliance and make it more difficult and expensive for South Africans to escape the taxman. But where are we with tax morality? Huh? What influences business and people's willingness to pay their taxes? What influences you? What influences you to pay your taxes, to be happy? I mean, I was reading up on some data sometime last year from public perception surveys, which confirmed that the trust in government is a key component that influences tax morale. And I doubt we have a society that has an incredible trust in government, given the levels of corruption. Like, you work for government, it's like, that's why the tax bill is so high. They don't care. Just transfer that person. Oh, but he's done something so wrong. He's behaved improperly. No, just move him from KZN, moving to somewhere in Joburg. He's going to sit there, do nothing because we're going to frustrate him. And then he's just going to retire when he turns 60. Are you a happy taxpayer? I am not. I really am not a happy taxpayer. I'm not happy when I see the levels of corruption. I'm not happy when I see people who get suspended and they're at home for 5 years. 5 bloody years. And my money is paying them. And some of them are on suspension, not because they've done something wrong, but because a minister hates them, or they're fighting with the DG, or the person was trying to stop corruption, therefore let them stay at home. They have no regard for the compromises we are making as taxpayers. And they must text us, they must talk to us about tax morality. What about government itself? Because a lot of our behavior and approach towards tax, a lot of that approach comes from how government uses the money. And maybe that's where they need to start fixing. I've also asked you about Melania Trump's film. Did you know about it? Were you going to watch it, or are you not bothered?
Morning, Clement. This is Walter from Cape Town. Up until now, I didn't even know there was such a film coming out or that was in production. And to be honest with you, I'm very happy that they've pulled it out. It means nothing to us. We lose nothing. It's good riddance. Kudos to whoever decided to pull it out. We don't need that at the moment here in South Africa. Thank you. Great show.
Yeah, I mean, it can stay. People can watch it there in the US and everywhere else. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I really didn't care. But I'm sure there are some people who like Melania and would have loved to see her first 20 days ahead of inauguration. Who knows? Maybe it'll make itself available on other platforms at some point.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
Clement and the team. You know, it really bothers me, actually. It's upsetting that I work so hard, in traffic all the time, triggered, and just to find out all these news that our money is being recklessly taken and stolen and nothing is being done about it. There's a call of yours that always, mentions maybe we should actually stop paying tax. I think we really need to unite ASAP and do something about this, because clearly the people in the high powers don't care. They don't give a damn.
Morning 702, this is Kamo here from Johannesburg. You know, I love how these criminals, I know you're going to say they are alleged criminals, but they are criminals. I don't need to prove you guilty at a court of law to know that you're a criminal. Lots of people are criminals, but they're not convicted. But we know they are criminals. They stay with us in our community. So this guy is a criminal. The point that I'm trying to make is that it's funny that he remembers everything that doesn't implicate him. Whenever something implicates him in a bad way, no, I don't remember, I don't recall. But anything else that doesn't implicate him or put him in a bad light, no, he remembers perfectly. You know, but this is the South Africa we live in. Nothing is going to happen. Absolutely nothing is going to happen. Somebody sending you documents, you don't open them. Like, what is that? That doesn't even make sense. Nah, we are being really taken for a joke.
Good morning, Clement. It's Pat here from Spayview. All these commissioners, including the Hawks boss, the country is under siege, syndicately. I wonder all these documents that they're talking about right now, private documents. What is the president's advisors going to advise him to do? Because that means trouble for the president as well. The country is under siege. These generals, commissioners, they need to be removed, all of them.
Yo, Uncle Siam, Clement, good morning. Can I be anonymous, please? You know, Clement, all these top people that are holding top positions, they are all pathetic liars. They can't even maintain their lies. Remember, these people have been doing all these corrupt things for many years. That's why they can able to keep money in their houses, because they never thought something like this will happen to them. And we still have a bunch of others that are still coming. These people, all these top people that are holding positions, I'm telling you, they are all corrupt. Well, not all per se, but probably 75% of them, they are corrupt. We see them when they come to townships with these top cars, expensive bottles, and they make other guys some ice boys and all that. They are corrupt, these people, and they are all liars. I mean, when you ask them a simple question, they don't answer a question. They tell you a statement that shows that they are liars.
Hey, yeah. Matthew on the WhatsApp line says, Clement, I'm not a happy taxpayer. Seeing people buy Gucci and Louis Vuittons that they can't even afford. It breaks me to come to work and hear how much billions get wasted due to corruption. That's it. Guys, we work so hard for the money that we get paid at the end of the month. And then some of that goes to government. And what do they do with it? That's why you've got residents. We once had a chat about residents of, what was that community again? Westville. I think it's the Westville community in eThekwini. They were withholding their taxes and their rates in a pushback against high tariff hikes in the metro. And they were unhappy about so many things because government just fails in service delivery there. There are financial losses for the city, and they wanted those to be addressed first before they can continue with their taxes and rates. So they are so frustrated with inefficient service delivery in that metro. And let's be honest, guys, we are paying a lot. We are paying a lot in tax. But do we even have the services? Electricity? Water? Look at our roads. Is maintenance being done on our roads? So as taxpayers in this country, we are essentially subjected to double tax. Wouldn't you agree? We're subjected to double tax. We hand over our taxes to SARS that go into the national fiscus, and then you tend to the private companies for services that the state fails to deliver. That's why you've got private security. You must buy an expensive house because it must be in an area where at least there's a boom gate. Those places are expensive. Private schooling, because government is failing with public schooling. Private healthcare, because have you seen our public hospitals? Private power supplies, because have you seen Eskom over the last couple of years? And I'm not talking about the last 3 years, or the last 2 years when we started seeing some head shoots. I'm talking for the longest time. How long were we subjected to load shedding? And we had to go get all of these private power supplies. So we are being double taxed. We give government the money so that we can have services. We don't get those services. And then some of us are lucky enough to go to the private sector to get the very services that our taxes are supposed to cover. How could you then be a happy taxpayer? How? And they live fancy lives. They drive in fancy cars. They've got protectors. They live in houses for free. And then some of them are so corrupt that they have no shame with our money. 10 minutes before 10.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
7 minutes before 10 o'clock. Eunice, you are in Killarney. What are your thoughts? Good morning.
Yeah, hi there, Clement. Clement, you know, the Daily Maverick has just come out with an expose. I don't know if you've seen it, of all the heads of the various amenities in Joburg, what they earn. And it's unbelievable that you can get the heads of these amenities earning more than what the president earns. I mean, if you take, for example, you drive around Joburg, I mean, there's more potholes, the robots are not working, the roads are in a pathetic condition, yet the head of JRA earns close on to, I think it's something like 4 to 5 million rands a year. You know, I mean, you had the other day just a youngster who's in his 30s from the Joburg Housing Agency, earns close on to 3.5 million rands a year, yet he's caught for corruption with the whole wad of money at his house. Now, I mean, I can't understand how these heads, there's no delivery. I mean, the head of City Power, for example, earns close on to nearly 5 million rands a year. How then do you explain that when people complain, they don't get the services, and yet the heads of these organizations earn that type of money?
Yeah.
Understand that, Clement.
Doesn't make sense, Eunice, in Killarney. Thanks for your call.
Good morning, Clement and the 702 lenders. I think it's rough. It's tough seeing everything that is blatantly gross negligence. It's criminality. It's thuggery. It's a whole lot of things. And I think there's an opportunity for us to take all of this and change certain laws, especially to your point around suspension, full pay. Perhaps labor laws need to be looking at it to say, well, when you're suspended, you only get paid 50%. And if you're not found guilty, you get paid the remainder. Hand in hand also, especially in the public sector with the PFMA and also other laws. I think we need to seriously look at our laws and see how best they can work for the people. Because at the moment, these laws are also a hindrance to ensuring that our tax is being used towards the goodness of this country. So that's something that I think should be considered.
Good day, Clement. I'm also not a happy taxpayer, and thank you for your outrage. But can we explain to people where our tax money goes and where the government's money comes from? Because I don't think people understand that government's money comes from taxpayers and government grants comes from their own tax money. Thank you, Joe.
Good morning, 702 Land. Clement, this is very clear that our taxpayers' money is going to be looted. It's going to be looted, and this is not going to stop, you see. So the only way is just to try and oust, this government completely out, and have a new government in power, you see. Because now, really, the way you are talking, it really pains me a lot. I'm a taxpayer, man. I'm paying a lot, This is really not fair. It's not fair to us, And we don't know what to do. We don't know who to approach. Ramaphosa, really, he is, he's a tortoise. He's so slow. I don't know. I don't know what can we do, man. Yeah? I don't know what can we do. Ek moet hom warm klap gee so that he can opstaan, man, and think. And think and be, smart and then be decisive. Thank you.
Morning, Clement and listeners. The problem is we as South Africans, we are what you call keyboard warriors. We complain on the radio, we complain on the internet, but that is all we do. We don't get up to try and make a difference out there. We just complain. We complain. That's all we do. We are all unhappy taxpayers, but that's as far as it goes. What are we as South Africans going to do about it? We need to stand up and do something to bring change around. Because complaining is not going to help. The government, nobody complain. They don't care. They just do whatever they have to do. But as South Africans, we need to start doing more than complaining. And we stop. In fact, we must get out of our comfort zone and expect somebody else to do the job for us. Go to the streets, protest, do something. I don't know.
And I think I agree with you. But I think also people are just resigned to, they just don't think those things work anymore. But I agree with you. I think as South Africans, we have a high tolerance for nonsense. We have a high tolerance for abuse. And I don't know how we could change that. Because we're good with complaining. We're going to be outraged, all of us. Outraged about how our taxes are being abused and how corrupt these senior officers are. But what do we do about it? How can it be? How can it be that many of us, none of you have called in and said, hey, I'm a happy taxpayer, Clement? None. How can it be that so many of us can be unhappy taxpayers in this country and we do nothing about it? How? How can it be that we are so unhappy as taxpayers? We do nothing about it. Let's think about that.